Good evening everyone. Today I thought of trying fractions part 6. Okay, that means how to do subtraction with unlike fractions with different denominators. Last session we did addition of unlike fractions. Today I thought of doing subtraction of unlike fraction. Okay, let's start. Fractions part 6. Okay, under this subtraction of unlike fractions, okay, I am going to take a small example first. Half minus a quarter. Okay, first of all we have to check whether the greater value of the denominator is a multiple of the smaller denominator. It is proven that 4 is a multiple of 2. So we can easily take 4 as the common denominator. Now we have to check how many 2's are there in 4. Like in additions, there are, first of all we have to get the common denominator, then we have to check how many 2's are there in 4. 2 times 2 is 4, so it is 2 times 1 minus how many 4's? 1 4 times 1. Okay, first we have to take the common denominator. Before that we have to check whether the bigger denominator is a multiple of the smaller denominator. It is true that they are multiples of 2's. Now we have to check whether how many 2's are there in 4. There are 2 2's, then we have to multiply that 2 by the numerator. Numerator means 1, so it is 2 times 1 minus how many 4's means 1 4. So 1 times 1, 1. Okay. Then 2 times 1 is 2, 1 times 1 is 1. So when we subtract 1 from 2, it is 1 over 4. Okay, don't forget that we should not subtract denominators. Okay, when we have different denominators, we have to find the common denominator. Please take it in mind. And also we can't subtract numerators as well straight away. First of all, we have to get the common denominator. Then those will be like fractions. Then easily we can do the subtraction part. That is the first example. Okay, this is the first example. We will take more examples. Second example. Second example is 5/6 minus 2/3. Okay. Here also we can realize that 6 is a multiple of 3. So easily we can take 6 as the common denominator. How many 3's are there in 6? There are 2 3's in 6's. In the 6. So there are 2 3's means we have to multiply 2 by the numerator. Sorry. First we have to check how many 6's are there in 6. 1 6 is there, so we have to multiply 1 by the numerator, which is 5. Minus, then we have to check how many 3's are there in 6. How many 3's? 3 times 2 is 6, then we have to multiply 2 by the denominator, that is also 2. So it will be beneath 6, 5 times 1 5 minus 4, answer is 1 over 6. Keep it in mind. Okay, we will do another sum. Okay, we suppose we are asked to subtract 3 over 4 from 5 over 8. Okay, here also 8 is a multiple of 4, so we can take 8 as the common denominator. Then we have to find how many 4s are there in 8. How many 4s? 2 4s. Then it is 2 times numerator is 3, hence it is 2 times 3. Then we have to check how many 8s are there in 8. 1 8, 1 times 5 is what? We have to subtract from. So it will be 1 times 5, 5. We have to subtract 5 from 6. So it will be 1 over 8. One more sum. Now suppose a sum like this for an example. Okay, 8 over 9 minus 1 over 3 minus 1 over 3. Here you have to subtract minus 1 over 3 twice from 8 over 9. Okay, here the thing is there are 2 3's and 1 9. When we get a sum like this, first of all we have to check whether, now there are like fractions as well. In this like fraction, the same denominator. And the bigger denominator is also is a multiple of 3. So we can easily take 9 as the common denominator. How many 3's are there in 9? 3 3's. Then 3 times 8. Okay, then we have to check how many 3's are there in. Sorry, first we have to find how many 9's are there in 9. 1 9, then we have to multiply 1 by 8. Minus, then we have to check how many 3's are there in 9. How many 3's? 3. Then it is 3 times 1. Minus, again 9 means 3 times 3. Again 3 times 9. So answer is 8 minus 3 minus 3 over 9. 8 minus 3 is 5, minus 3 is 9. So it is 2 over 9. 2 over 9 is the answer. Keep in mind. Next is suppose a sum like this, where the bigger denominator is not a multiple of smaller denominator. For an example, 4 over 5 minus half. 5 and 2 are different denominators, plus 5 is not a multiple of 2. So what we have to do is we have to find the least common denominator, because two denominators are unlike different, and 5 is not a multiple of 2. So let us take least common denominator. Smallest prime factor is 2, and 2 is divisible by 2, hence it is 1. 5 stays the same. Next prime factor is 3. 5 is not divisible by 3, so we can't take 3 here. Then we have to take the next prime factor, which is 5. So it will be 1. 5 means 1. So the least common denominator is 2 times 5, that is 10. Okay, so 10 is the common denominator. Then we have to check how many 5's are there in 10, that is 2. 2 times 4 is 8. Minus how many 2's are there in 10? 2 times 5 is 10. 5 times 1, 5. So it will be 3 over 10. Again, 4 out of 5 minus half. I found the least common denominator, which is 10. So then denominator is 10, common denominator is 10. Then we have to check how many 5's are there in 10. How many 5's? 2. Then we have to multiply that 2 by the numerator 4. 2 times 4 is 8. Then we have to check how many 2's are there in 10. That is 5. 5 times 1 is 5. And in between there is a minus 1. When we subtract 5 from 8, is 3 over 10. Let me do another sum. Okay, suppose a sum like this. 1/4, sorry, 3/4 minus 1/6. Okay, 6 is not a multiple of 4. So again we have to find the least common denominator. So 4 and 6, we have to take the least prime factor here. What is that? 2. 2 is the least prime factor. Then we have to check how many 2's are there in 4. How many 2's? 2 2 6 means 3 2's. There's a 2 here and a 3 here. We have to divide again by 2 to find how many 2's are there in the 2. 1 and 3. Then there's a 3 here. We can't divide 3 exactly by 2. So we have to find the next prime factor, which is 3. So it will be 1 1. So according to division method, in prime factors, first we have to divide by the least prime factor. Then we get a 3. We don't take notice of 3 here because 2 is there. So we have to divide by 2 even though 3 is not completely divisible by 2. As 3 is not completely divisible by 2, we take the 3 the way it is to the next step. Then we can divide 1 and 3 by 3. We take 1 remains the same. So 3 divided by 3 means 1. So it is like this. So least common denominator here means 2 times 3. 2 times 2 is 4. 4 times 3, that is 12. So least common denominator here is 12. Now we have to check how many 4's are there in 12. 4 times 3 is 12. Then we have to multiply this 3 by the numerator. 3 times 3 is 9. Then we have to subtract. How many 6's are there in 12 means 2 6's. Then 2 times 1 means 2. So when we subtract 2 from 9, answer is 7 out of 12. This is the answer for this particular question. Okay, we'll do 2 more questions. Next is suppose 5/6 minus 4/9. Okay, 9 is not a multiple of 6. So we have to go to common denominator. Divide by prime factors. 6 is divisible by 2, so least prime factor is 2. 6 divided by 2 is 3. 9 is not completely divisible by 2, so we keep the 9 the way it is. Then both are multiples of 3, so 3 is a common factor, so we can divide by 3. So 1 comes, 9 means 3 times 3. Until it is 1 1, we have to keep on dividing. So to remove 3, we have to again divide by 3, hence we get 1 1. So here least common denominator means 2 times 3 times 3. 2 times 3 is 6. 6 times 3 means 18. So common denominator is 18. How many 6's are there in 18? Means 3 6's are there in 8. Then multiply this 3 by 5. 5 times 3 is 15. Minus, how many 9's are there in 18? 2 9's. 2 times 4 is 8. So answer here is 7 out of 80. Final question. Final question. 5/6 minus 1/8 minus 1/8. Okay. There are 2 like fractions and 1 unlike fraction to each, both. Okay. But here is all three denominators have 2 values. So first what we have to do is we have to find the least common denominator of 6 and 1 of the 8. So it will be 6 and 8 divide by 2. 2 times 3, 2 times 4, again divide by 2. 2, again we can divide by 2. 3 remains the same one. Now we have to divide by 3. So it is like this. Okay, first we have to divide both these figures by 2 because 2 is a common factor. Hence we get 3 and 4. Then we know that 3 is not divisible by 2 but 4 is divisible by 2. So this 3 and 2. Again we can divide by 2 because there is a 2 here. And finally 3 comes. Okay. And to remove 3 we have to divide it by the next prime factor which is 3. So least common denominator is 2 times 2 times 2 times 3. 2 times 2 is 4, 4 times 2 is 8, 8 times 3 is 24. So common denominator is 24. 6 times 4 is 24, 4 times 5 means 20. Minus how many 8s? 3 8s, 3 times 1 means 3, minus again 3, 3 times 1 is 3. So here answer is 20 minus 3 is 17, 17 minus 3 is 14, that is 14 over 24. Is this the final answer? Now there is a drama. Why? Because both these figures has 2 as the common factor. So we can write it into their simplest. This is not the simplest form of this answer. So we have to divide both numerator and denominator by 2. 7 out of 12. So answer is 7 out of 12 as well. Okay, one more sum. One more sum. Sorry. One more sum. Okay, 2/3 minus 1/6 minus 1/9. 3 denominators. 3 different denominators. We know 6 is a multiple of 3 and 9 is also a multiple of 3. But the problem is 9 is not a multiple of 6. So what we have to do is we have to find the least common denominator of all 3 denominators. Because all 3 are unequal to each other. Okay, first we can divide by 2 because 6 is divisible by 2. 3, 3 and 9. Now 2 3s are there, 1 9 is there. We can divide by 3, 1, 1 and 3. Again we can divide by 3. Why? Because 3 is only divisible by 3. 1, 1, 1. So here least common denominator is 2 times 3 times 3. 2 times 3 is 6, 6 times 3 is 18. Again, here unlike in previous examples, here there are 3 different denominators. That is why we have to try least common denominator method. Other thing is even though 6 and 9 are multiple of 3, 9 is not a multiple of 6. So we have to go to division method straight away to find the least common denominator. So when we divide 3, 6 and 9 by 2, we get 3, 3 and 9. Why we divide it by 2? Because 6 is divisible by 2 and 2 is the least prime factor. Then there are 2, 3 and 9. All are divisible by 3. So we divide it by next prime factor which is 3. Then we get 1, 1 and 3. Again we can divide by 3 to remove 3. To divide 3, so it will be 1, 1, 1. So least common denominator is 18. Keep 18 down. Then check how many 3's are there in 18. 3 times 6 is 18 and 6 times 2 is 12. Then we have to check how many 6's are there in 18. 6 times 3 is 18, 3 times 1 is 3. Then we have to check how many 9's are there in 18. 9 times 2 is 18, 2 times 1 is 2. Now we will subtract. 12 minus 3 is 9, 9 minus 2 is 7. So this is the answer. Okay. That's it for today. Thank you very much.